Hey guys, this is Rob with Mills Creek Services. I wanted to make a quick video and kind of show the data that we're collecting from our drone and how we're using that for our site work projects and just general consulting to kind of help you plan your watershed on your property. So these are all LiDAR points. Basically, a laser shoots a bunch of points from the drone. Each point becomes a 3D measurement, and we get points underneath trees and all throughout the property. So then we use software that kind of removes the buildings, which is why this area looks so weird. This is actually a house. But as you can see, I've got my Z tool up and I can scroll around and see, every elevation around this house and kind of get an idea for what's going on, on the property as we go to approach quoting it. One of the things that we noticed on this property right away is they have a standing water issue here, and a ditch was dug out through the county right-of-way and connected this property directly to the county road easement ditch. And one thing we noticed right away is, the height of the bottom of this ditch in 3D here is 18.48 at a low spot, 18.54. So we then were able to come in, go back to the bottom of this ditch, and look here, it's either level or just under 18.38. So I think in if we get 3 or 4 inches of rain, we're going to have water now running into the property. Another thing too, just generally, you can zoom out and see, as this is colored based on change in elevation, you can see kind of what the natural slope of the land is, with this area being the lowest, around 15.73 feet, and this area being the highest, around 19 feet. So one of the things we're going to do is, we're going to fill this ditch in, bring in some dirt. We're going to basically put a crown in this property so that the water sheds off to the low spot over here. But then also back this way, we're going to build the road up. We can see, or the driveway coming in, we can see the driveway elevation here is about 20 feet. And so we're going to tie in to the concrete pad that's going to be poured. And we know the elevation for that based on the finished floor elevation of the garage. But we're going to know how to build up and how much we're going to build up. There's different tools that we have in our software as well. So like we can draw a boundary over the driveway and then basically give it an elevation that we'd like to build up to. And that gives us a volume calculation so we know how many, numbers of trucks that we need, without eyeballing it and guessing. The other thing too, so we're going to put in, basically we're going to cut a swale alongside this after we fill in the ditch. We're going to put a French drain in here, and we're going to have that French drain connect to the bank of the pond. So something that's really important is if you're going to dump water into a pond, you need to pick your elevation, and there's got to be some way for the pond to fill up and overflow, so that you're not at really wet periods of time, your drainage isn't clogged going out to the pond. So we look at the elevation here on the bank of the pond, it's 18.36 or so. We could probably stub out a 6-inch pipe at 17.75. The water surface as it meets the slope of the bank, 16.42. So if we know that our our bank, if we're looking at 17.75, I come over here to see if we're going to put a pipe out at 17.75, will this run over the back? And it looks like it will. So the berm on the back side is lower by about a half a foot from what we're planning on, stubbing out into the pond. So as this pond fills up, it's going to just naturally overflow into this wet area behind it. Or at least it's the way that it's always been going since the pond was dug. So we're not changing anything there. And other downspouts we're going to connect to 4-inch corrugated pipe and pop-up drains, and we know that it's lower on this side and the water's going to kind of naturally run down this path here. So we're going to put a couple pop-up drains coming out this way, and we use the software to measure everything, so we know where we want to put it based on the height and the elevation downhill of it, and then also we know the exact lengths, and pretty much can measure anything on your property. This tool is really useful for getting in on the front end. I would highly recommend, before you build something, If you're worried about water problems, give us a call and let us come out as a consultant for you, and we'll look at everything that's going on and look at the whole picture instead of coming out. We used to just come out with a laser level, and you're pretty limited on the number of points that you can measure when you're looking at a site, especially if it's densely wooded. So what we're doing is coming out with this drone, we're able to get points on the ground, and we get all the points, and we're able to kind of get an overall picture of what's happening on your property. But yeah, give us a call, and we'd be happy to come out and take a look.